First, though, we're going to start with the battle for Benjamin Šeško, which has intensified after Manchester United made an official bid for the RB Leipzig striker. Now, that bid came 24 hours after Newcastle upped their offer for the Slovenia striker. Let's get more on this. Let's go live to Manchester. Our reporter Peter Stevenson is there for us. Peter, hello again. Right, tell us about this bid.
Yeah, good evening, Mike. What a fascinating transfer triangle we have this evening. If you can imagine the hierarchy at Old Trafford behind me at St James's Park in Newcastle, both sets of people can only just sit and wait tonight and wonder what will happen after making their moves for Benjamin Šeško. As you say, it's been a really much publicised approach by both clubs, but at the moment, quite frankly, they can only sit and wait. RB Leipzig have said, we understand there's been no formal response to the offer from Manchester United. Just to confirm, that's a £65 million initial payment, add-ons of around £9 million for a striker who's really captured all the headlines in recent months. 22 years of age, terrific figures, 39 goals in 87 games. And a player you would imagine who will be a real handful for Premier League defences, and a player at 22 years of age who you would think still plenty more potential there. But significantly, he's been made to train individually, according to his parent club, while they continue their meeting in Germany. And you just sense that after that particular solitary training session, he'll head home and he'll have to make one very, very big decision.
He will indeed. Now, if he does go to United, that'll be a whole new front three. Is this Amorim putting his stamp on his team?
Oh, he must be sleeping an awful lot better, Mike, because as you well know, he must have had nightmares on a weekly basis last year at Manchester United. Every single week, more or less every single game just didn't go to plan. And as we all know, they finished in 15th position. Newcastle, of course, finishing in 5th. And you would think that in itself might be a particular draw for the young player. But in fact, Amorim has always made it clear that this is one of the world's biggest clubs. This is why he's delighted to be here and why he intends to be here for many more seasons to come. But as you say, with the likes of Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo already in and already settling in nicely, if you like, I suppose a little bit of Premier League nous, a bit of experience from both of those players. When you throw into the mix the 22-year-old powerhouse up top, it looks a potent threat, doesn't it? And I'm sure if United can get this one over the line, Ruben Amorim will be a very, very delighted man.
I bet he will. So, if Šeško goes in, does that mean Højlund goes out?
That would be the logical step, wouldn't it? And it would be 2 years to the day that Højlund signed for Manchester United, if indeed he does go out. Maybe he goes out as part of the Šeško deal. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But we're told that United are prepared to accept bids of around 30 million for Højlund, which is less than 50% what they paid for him. So that shows you what a disappointing 2 years it's been for the young striker. You have to say, you have to be sorry for him. He's had form problems. He's had injury problems. He's tried to lead the line in a really struggling side, but it's just not worked for him. And you would think at the age, also 22, same as Šeško, that he'll be able to go away maybe and rebuild his career. Plenty of time for that, but it's just not worked for him at Old Trafford. And we await to see what his next move will be.
We do indeed. Peter Stevenson, live from Manchester. Thanks, Peter. So, that's the Manchester side of things. What about Newcastle after Alexander Isak returned to their training ground for a second day? Keith Downey has the latest.
He made that first bid on Saturday morning that was turned down by Leipzig. They asked him to come back with a different structure, different payment terms. Newcastle did that and more, and raised their offer last night to €80 million, so around about £70 million plus a potential £10 million in add-ons. So Newcastle's offer is actually €5 million more, should I say, than Manchester United's. But worth saying, we've yet to hear back from either of the offers to Leipzig, and we've yet to get clarification from the player. And until that, as far as Newcastle are concerned, their bid is still live and on the table. I actually saw Alexander Isak earlier today because he was here at the Newcastle United training ground for the second day, telling the club he wanted to explore a move away from the club. Of course, that amidst the interest from Liverpool, and that interest from Liverpool was firmed up on Friday with a bid of £110 million plus add-ons, to which Newcastle rejected. Newcastle rejected for two reasons. One, they didn't have an adequate replacement lined up, and they would not allow and will not allow Isak to leave until they do that. It was at that point that they moved in fast on Šeško and tried to bring Šeško in, knowing that Manchester United were also interested. So if that deal falls through, it's going to be very difficult for Newcastle to allow Isak to go. The second one is that 110 million plus add-ons was not enough for Newcastle to deal. They're looking for more than that. I've been told a number of times they're looking for 150 million. It might be difficult for them to reach that figure this transfer window with only a few weeks left, but you would imagine if Šeško came in, they would probably renegotiate with Liverpool somewhere, because the player is agitating to leave and has kind of made it clear that he wants to try something new. But if Newcastle fail to get Šeško over the line, there's a real chance that Alexander Isak begins the season and ends this transfer window as a Newcastle United player.